Okay, hello. Welcome everybody out there in the Titan Trivia landscape, webscape, whatever it is that you want to say. Thank you all for joining us. I know there's a big thing going on in the big leagues, quote unquote, at this moment. But if you're here watching with us right now, thank you for joining because you're the true Titan fans, and you're the ones who we want here anyway. So this is a big deal we got going on here tonight on this Friday night. This is the free-for-all. This is going to determine who is going to be getting that coveted spot at Titan Mania 2 against our newly crowned champion, Chris Diaz. Whoever comes out of this is going to get a chance to get a title shot at him for that coveted main event portion of Titan Mania 2. Joining me here on the desk today, we have someone who I haven't had a pleasure to work with in an official capacity, getting to know him. Seems like a really cool dude from everything that I've seen and read. We have Mehdi. Mehdi, how is it going this evening?
I don't know what blogs you've been reading, but nobody classifies me as cool. They usually say asshole, that cunt, or hey, that guy. But no, I'm really happy to be here. This is going to be a lot of fun. Chris Diaz is anxiously awaiting the winner of this free-for-all. And I know I have my picks, but I'm not going to let the Cash App donations decide who gets the win at the end of this match.
I feel like you should, because I feel that's very enterprising.
Oh, no, I'm taking the money anyways.
Oh.
But I'm trying to be somewhat civil because, well, I'm not going to go into that. But either way, we have a couple rounds coming up, and I'm sure you're going to introduce us to some of the competitors that are vying for that challenger spot right now.
I am looking forward to doing that. I will say that if your money was GameStop stock, Reddit would be all over.
Oh, I wish. Oh, should have gotten in on that while I had the chance.
Well, this is a very exciting time. This is going to be somewhat of if you've ever seen a free-for-all, it's very similar to free-for-all format, but we're doing it slightly differently in terms of questions asked and how we're going about fulfilling who's coming in and all of that. But I will get into that as we bring in our first competitors. So I think we're ready to do that. We've been vamping here for a few minutes. I think we're ready to bring in our first competitors and get going. What do you think?
I'm pretty ready. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so coming in our first position here in the free-for-all, someone who, if you've ever been around the fan leagues and been watching stuff, you know him very well. He is someone who's very well-versed in the realm of geek. He is Joe Hot Fuzz Fairley.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me.
I think that's all we can legally play.
We were really close to being demonetized.
It's been a while since I've heard that as an intro music. It's nice. It's good to see.
It really pumps you up for sure. And his first opponent coming in, I believe it's his first match ever, just delving right in, dipping his feet into a free-for-all. We have Jordan Anderson. And that's all he legally gave me as I'm playing through it again. And there we go. Sorry about that. Was reacting a little bit slowly on that. Let's go. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. All right, I'm ready.
I was wondering how many times it was going to play through when I didn't say anything or do anything.
I'm waiting for this.
Well, welcome, gentlemen. You are going to be our first guinea pigs of a sort coming here into this free-for-all. Just very briefly, I want to go through the rules for everybody out there so they're aware. This is going to be 1-to-1 in terms of each round of a free-for-all. So basically, you two are going to get 10 questions from 10 prearranged categories. You will have 15 seconds to answer said question on your whiteboard, wherever you have in front of you. Try to keep your hands on the screen at all times if you can. If it does dip, I might remind you. Once the 15 seconds are up, I'll say pens down. You'll show and verbalize your answer. Whoever is leading after the 10 questions, they will move on to the next round of the free-for-all. The person who has the least amount of points will be dropped out, and that is, your free-for-all in a nutshell. There are no repeats or challenges per se. I don't have any specific number. But if you didn't hear a question fully, as long as you don't take advantage of it, then I'll go ahead and give you repeats. If you think something is really challenge worthy, maybe we'll talk about that at the end, since we got a lot of things to go through here tonight, and it might be a little tough to go through an official challenge. So with that,
but if you try to say that Chris Evans played Iron Man, I'm challenging the hell out of it. So just so you know.
Right.
If it's very obvious,
we can allow that. I'm pretty sure we can allow that one.
Yeah, it's the wording of the question thing of challenges that we might struggle a little bit on. But with that being said, those are our rules in a nutshell. So we're ready to get started. Joe, are you ready to begin?
Yeah, it's not geek, but I come to singles for fun. So let's do this.
Well, you might find some geek questions in here thrown in every so often. Jordan, for your first time, are you ready to get started?
Let's go. Ready.
All right. So with that,
the Clippers fan is about to lose his virginity.
Free for All
right.
is underway, and this will kick us off. This wonderful question here. Question number 1. We'll say it's in the category of Hitchcock. What is the occupation of LB's neighbor that he nicknamed Miss Torso in Hitchcock's Rear Window?
Rear Window, a very interesting movie in terms of how can you spy on your neighbors and not get caught?
And, making sure that the invalid can feel useful.
That too, but I like to think of it as a pervy movie. That's just
It's
me.
very pervy. It's all summertime and everybody's just trying to keep cool. With that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens up, gentlemen, and we will start with our first competitor, Joe Fairley.
Is she a dancer?
And then we'll go to Jordan.
I'm new to, so as a guess, nurse.
Dancer is the correct answer. So with that, Joe goes ahead and takes a 1-point lead as we move into our second question. Second question will be in the category of horror. What is believed to be the cause of the dead rising to eat people in 1968's Night of the Living Dead? My wife and I just watched this movie the other night, and obviously I have big ups for this movie and all the George Romero stuff because he's a Pittsburgh guy, and I'm a Pittsburgh guy. But very much enjoyed it.
I'm going to ignore the Pittsburgh stuff, but whatever. But no, this movie is great. I love it.
You can ignore it as much as you want, D, for sure.
Yeah, well, Steelers aren't in it anymore, so.
No, they stink. They're bad. But I'll take that all aside, and we'll go ahead to our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, gentlemen, and we'll go ahead and we'll start with Jordan this time.
Another total guess. They smell them.
And we'll go to Joe.
I think it's one of the reasons posited in Shaun of the Dead as well. So I went with satellite falling to Earth.
Radiation from a crashed satellite.
Yeah, I guess we'll count it.
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and we'll count that one for Joe. Satellite's kind of the main
thing, yeah. So cutting it close, Joe, but that takes you to 2-0.
Yep. So Joe springs out like a rabbit in a dog race there as the rabbit, and hopefully Jordan gets a chance to catch up with him as we move into question 3, which is going to be in the category of Oscars. For what category did Men in Black win an Academy Award?
I love that we can say Men in Black is an Academy Award-winning movie.
I feel better about that than Suicide Squad, but
both Will Smith movies. But yeah, Men in Black is definitely the one that I want to hold down as one of his greats.
Yes, we just watched this the other night too, and I just kept looking at my wife and going, "This is freaking awesome." And much better than the other ones.
I kept watching, waiting for him to say "Welcome to Earth," but I guess that was the wrong one. So,
wrong movie, unfortunately. That's going to take us into the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, gentlemen. Joe, we'll start with you again.
Same as Suicide Squad. Best makeup.
And Jordan.
Another guess. Costume design.
Best makeup it is.
Joe is correct with best makeup. He goes ahead and takes his 3-0 lead, and that's going to move us into question 4, which is going to be in the category of sports. What was Joe Pesci's relationship to Robert De Niro in Raging Bull?
Quickly on Men in Black, though. I love that they won for makeup for doing Will Smith's hair. That's just What an amazing accomplishment.
Rick Baker, the legendary Rick Baker, doing all the makeup, and he was in there. I think he ended up being in a few of those movies as
I think
background.
2 or 3 of them, yeah.
Yep. So not surprising that they ended up winning that, but man, that Men in Black song slaps. I'll just say that.
Oh, yeah. To this day.
So with that, we'll go to our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, gentlemen, and we'll start with Jordan.
Man, not my strong categories tonight, but I just said his best friend.
And Joe.
Brother.
Brother is correct. So Joe, having a nice
Going
perfect
on a
streak
hot
here.
streak.
That's what I was gonna put. Was his brother, but I thought it was too obvious.
Nope, he is in fact his brother. So with that, Joe's going to go ahead and take a 4-0 lead. That's going to take us into our fifth question here, which is going to be in the category of 70s movies. What 1976 film was the sequel to White Lightning and served as Burt Reynolds' directorial debut?
For those of you who watch Archer, there is a brilliant Archer joke for this movie.
Indeed, there is, and the whole episode essentially
It's so
revolving
funny.
around Burt Reynolds, which is kind of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Big ups to Archer. Archer needs more fans. Well, no, it doesn't, but I'm just saying that.
That'd be nice if it had more fans and just kept on going for another 35 seasons.
I would appreciate that very much so.
It's on FX, so they won't really remember that it's a show for their own channel.
But with that, we'll go into our countdown. Just give me a second here. Having a little bit of technical difficulties as I'm kind of getting some stuff ready here. Okay, go to the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe, we'll start with you.
I didn't know, so I drew a man with a sick mustache.
He is really sick. Not in the infirmary kind of way, but awesome. Jordan?
And I just took another guess at it. Smokey and the Bandit.
Great movie, but not the one we're looking for.
Yeah, both unfortunately incorrect. We're looking for the movie Gator. Gator. One of Burt Reynolds' finest, but one that's not seen by a whole lot of people.
Oh, the classic movie Gator. Oh, I forgot about that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, the classic movie Gator. So with that, Joe still maintains his 4-0 lead as we get into the sixth question, which is in the category of classics. Who directed the 1940 comedy His Girl Friday? I really wanted to run the gamut of questions here. So we're going through all eras all the time. So sorry about that, everybody.
Really makes it real wild and unpredictable. His Girl Friday, unknown sequel to His Girl Thursday.
Well, Thursday's the money day, right? It's named after, we know where Thursday gets its name from. Friday's a little bit more of a mystery. So with that, we'll go into our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Jordan, we'll start with you.
All right, I just threw. I'm not great at classics, so I just threw out a classic director that I know, Francis Ford Coppola.
All right, and Joe?
Yeah, Shot in the Dark, Clark Gable.
Both fair guesses, but unfortunately both incorrect. We're looking for Howard Hawks.
I knew that.
I figured, Joe, that would be something that came across your desk somewhere at some point in time. But I guess just there's a lot of classics directors, So
Yeah.
but with that, we'll go into our seventh question. This is in the category of 2000s movies, we'll say. Where does the Chris Evans film Push mainly take place?
The Chris Evans movies before he was Captain America. What a time to be alive.
You mean those 3 movies he did with Scarlett Johansson before he was Captain America?
Yeah,
A lot of them.
those hot piles of garbage.
I loved them. I think starting your movie career with not another teen movie is quite a flex.
I think having 3 movies with Scarlett Johansson is quite a flex, but couldn't do anything with it, I guess.
Also very, very, very true. Well, with that, we'll go into the count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, gentlemen. Joe, we're back to you.
Shot in the dark off the title. A maternity ward.
Love that answer. Jordan.
And this is one I actually do know. Is it Hong Kong?
It is, in fact, Hong Kong. Jordan's on the board there. We would have accepted Hong Kong or China. But
I'm not going to get into the political side of that, but whatever.
Nope. No, I take politicism out of these questions. But if you want to fight me on that, that's fine, too.
Not going to go for it.
All
But
right.
maternity ward is a very good guess. Unfortunately, maybe half a second spent in the maternity ward compared to the 2-hour runtime.
I have a feeling that's going to be my favorite answer of the night, and it happened very early. So good job on you, Jeff. Still a game here as we get into our eighth question. Our eighth question is in the category of 1930s movies. Who stars as the titular senator in the 1939 classic Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? I did a show on another network, FPTL, where we did 5-word fantasy movie fights. And I had this on my list. It got taken in the first round, and I got really sad it didn't come back to me.
Oh, I bet. I kind of want to know what a 5-word movie draft looks like.
I'll let you know that my first 3 picks were Silence of the Lambs, No Country for Old Men, and Captain America, Winter Soldier. So
Yeah, but no one
Captain
picked the
America.
spy who loved me.
Winter
So
Soldier. Yeah.
it's true. Yeah, it was really weird set of circumstances. But either way, I digress. We get into our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and we're going to start with Jordan.
Another shot in the dark. Clark Gable.
And Joe?
Jimmy Stewart.
It is, in fact, Jimmy Stewart.
That's right. That's right.
So with that, Joe jumps in the lead 5-1 as we get into our penultimate question here in the first round of the free-for-all. This is going to be in the category of Star Wars. What is the name of the shared force bond between Rey and Kylo Ren as established in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker?
You know what? I like Rise of Skywalker. I'm going to out myself and say that. I feel like I'm coming out of the closet for this, but I really enjoyed that movie. Joe is already hating me.
He's looking up at you and shaking his head. I went and saw it twice, once with my wife alone, once with my dad, because we went and have seen like every Star Wars movie together, and I could tell he was not into it. I know he didn't watch Last Jedi because we weren't together then. So I tried to explain to him the entirety of Last Jedi like 5 minutes before the movie started. It was tough, I'll tell you that.
I can imagine how you went around and did that. And then they're in a casino.
Yeah, I know. I think I skipped that part, actually, frankly. Either way, we all should skip it. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're back to Joe.
Dyad.
And Jordan?
I'm pretty sure this is wrong, but I went with Neuralink.
Dyad, Force Dyad is what we were looking for, so Joe gets the point. He is up 6-1. So somewhat of a formality here moving into the next round, but we are going to finish out for the sake of scoring purposes and stats as we go into our 10th and final question, which Joe's going to love this. It's in the category of Bond, James Bond. Trust me, Joe was not necessarily supposed to be first when I wrote these questions, but whatever. Which James Bond film was released in 1987?
Jeez, movie release dates.
It is. There's a few of those in here because I love them so much.
You know what? You and me are opposites on that one, man. I can't even remember what day it is right now.
I just like how specific the answer is. You know, numbers. It's a specific answer usually. I mean, there are those things where it's like it was released in 1981 around the world. It was released in 1982 in the U.S. So you have to.
Oh yeah.
You have to kind of contemplate that. But other than that, it's usually a really set answer, and that's what I like about it. No room for interpretation. But my thoughts aside, we'll go ahead into our final count here for the first round of the free-for-all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And Jordan.
All right, I got a 1 in however many Bond movies there are shot. But I want the Living Daylights.
And Joe.
Yeah.
The Living Daylights.
Living
It is,
Daylights
in
is
fact,
it.
the
Nice.
Living Daylights. So,
Closing out with a
Got
win.
it.
Jordan, that's quite a way to close out your round here.
Yes, and
But,
it wasn't a shutout, at least.
no shutouts here. But unfortunately, with a score of 7-2,
That
that
is a 4% chance. 25 points. That's a 4% chance of you doing that.
Right.
That's impressive.
very impressive. So with that, Jordan's going to go ahead and leave, and Joe's going to move on to the next round. Joe, before we bring in your next competitor, how are you feeling about moving through those first 10 questions?
Yeah, it's always good. That's the thing. Whenever you come into a match like this, you're always like, well, what if the 10 questions are just the 10 things I just don't know? We all know people come into this community because they know stuff about movies. Whether you score 1, 2, 3, 4, even 0 doesn't matter. It just might just be those questions of the things you just don't know, and you've only had that one round, and that's it. But the more you play, the more you pick it up, and the more people will start to see what player you are. So Jordan will be fine.
Absolutely. And people are getting a lot of tape on you, so they'll know exactly what to hold against you. So that's
I only play singles for fun, though.
absolutely true.
I didn't miss the bond. That's what matters.
I guess you're going to see how Joe answers all these geek questions, right, and gets people worried on that realm. But with that, we're going to go ahead and enter in your next competitor. This is a person who's near and dear to my heart because he is my teammate in a number of different leagues. Joe's next competitor is going to be Antonio, the Assassin Chavez.
Right hand out. Give a handshake. Talk to me about that one big break.
That's all I'm going to play, even though we're still waiting for him to be entered in. That's all I'm going to play. Because, again, we're talking about copywriting and making sure we don't get demonetized and whatnot.
Well, let's put it this way. When he comes in, it's going to be like for like on the geek questions. So it all depends what happens with those singles questions.
Yep, that's what it will be. I think in this round, there are not that many geek questions. Still waiting on him. So we'll go ahead and we'll keep talking in the meantime. Mehdi, what do you think of that first round here?
I really liked what Jordan brought out. I mean, coming into a movie trivia match is already a daunting experience. And then you go in against someone like Joe. I'm nodding to the wrong side. That side. There we go. Coming in against someone like Joe is always a daunting task. Oh, there we go. We got Antonio with his what looks like dark saber, but in a different color.
Oh, man.
Birds are out in full force tonight.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any more Star Wars questions, guys. So
yeah, I missed the one Star Wars question, and there was also the question about the movie that I least like. So. Yep,
and it's the one on your shirt. So isn't that cool? I thought about that as I was thinking about asking that question. So with that, before we get started in the next round here, Antonio, do you have any questions in reference to the rules here for the free-for-all?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Well,
Antonio, I did not get your Cash App donation for your easy points to win, so I'm just going to assume that you want to lose tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like my Giants. I just want to give up on the season.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely true. So with that, gentlemen, we'll go ahead. We'll start this next round of the free-for-all. Question number 1 is in the category of biopics. What famous singer did Marion Cotillard portray in 2007's La Vie en Rose? This actually came up, unbeknownst to me and my wife, in A Star is Born. Because this is the song that Lady Gaga actually sings.
Oh.
I mean, that could be a spoiler. Sure.
I watched that movie waiting for Dave Chappelle, and then I was very disappointed that it was an hour and 45 minutes in.
Oh, no. My butt froze.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Come on, my boy.
I have the answer, so if
I want
to
screenshot that pose that he's stuck in right now.
I'll let you do a screenshot in the 5 count that I'm doing because I have the answer, so I'm just gonna keep going, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to start with, I guess, Antonio. I don't know. I'm not making the rules here. They're just
The
asking
reason
me to
why I
talk
know
about
this,
stuff.
that's partially because of Star is Born, but also because of How I Met Your Mother. Is it Edith Piaf?
And Joe, what do you got?
I know it because she sings a song in Inception. Edith Piaf.
Edith Piaf is the correct answer.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
One
that.
point.
Yeah.
There you go. Finding the answers from various other sources. I love it. Your next category is in. I actually don't know. It doesn't have the categories written on my sheet. So I'm just going to say the question. Where is the famous wine mixer that serves as the largest helicopter leasing event in the Western Hemisphere since 1997 in the movie Step Brothers?
Hey, Antonio, I get to go first, which means I get to do the quote.
All right, go ahead.
I'll let you just go into the
curse?
quote now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Joe, go for it. Give us that quote.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer. Antonio?
I'm not going to keep the train going. Catalina.
Just ruining it. Look at you guys squaring up 2-2. I have no idea if the score keeps transferring over, so if Joe might be at 9, he might be at 2. Who knows? Someone's keeping track.
I don't think it carries over. That would be very harsh.
Because then I would never win.
It's like, I'm already up 14 points. All right, moving on to question number 13. In the category of Tom Hanks movies, perhaps? I really wish they wrote the categories down, but who cares? I'm riffing
Who plays Forrest Gump in Forrest Gump? Oh,
I know this one. Who painted the map of hell that Robert Langdon used as a first clue of the mystery in 2016's Inferno? Inferno being the third movie in the Da Vinci Code franchise. I read the first book, and then I fell asleep, and I couldn't remember the next two. I'm going to give you guys another 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Antonio, you're up first on this one. Who painted that picture?
I never bothered to watch any of these movies. I just thought it was Da Vinci.
It's probably a good guess. I don't know what movies these are either. So, Joe, what do you got?
No, Da Vinci.
I love it. We can't name more than one artist in between the three of us.
I nearly erased it for Michelangelo, though.
It is not Michelangelo. The correct answer is actually, and forgive me for the pronunciation, Sandro Botticelli.
Oh, I know Botticelli. I just didn't know his first name.
I thought Botticelli was a singer.
Yeah,
I had Botticelli for a while.
That's Botticelli, I think you mean. Come on.
I don't know. I'm not cultured very much. As you guys know, I like The Rise of Skywalker, so my opinions on movies don't really.
I didn't mind it. I'm just busting balls. All right.
Question 14. You guys are currently tied. What kind of mask does the villain wear in 2014's Big Hero 6? What kind of mask does the villain wear in Big Hero 6? Big Hero 6 is one of my top movies, honestly. I love this film.
I hate this movie. No, not because it's bad. I just hate it because it keeps coming up.
Okay, well, I was going to say,
it keeps coming up.
This movie.
No.
My girlfriend keeps poking my stomach during the pandemic saying, you're like...
I got to watch it, and then I'll really...
4, 3, 2, and 1. I think, Joe, you're up first on this one. Joe, what do you got?
You have to forgive the spelling, but a kabuki mask.
Kabuki mask. Antonio.
Thank God I remember that part, kabuki.
Kabuki's the correct answer. Both of you guys going shot for shot in this round, so it's really going to come down to the final questions, and I don't know how that works because they didn't explain this to me, but whatever. Question number 15. Who plays Mia Farrow's husband in 1968's Rosemary's Baby? For those of you caught up on WandaVision, a really good Rosemary's Baby reference in last week's episode.
Yeah.
This week, I have no idea what happened still. I'm still confused as hell.
The best episode so far.
I'll give you guys another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pencils down. Antonio, what do you got?
I know it's probably wrong. It'd just be funny if he did put himself in the movie. Roman Polanski.
And Joe, what do you got?
John Cassavetes.
John Cassavetes is it. It is. Damn. Joe taking the 1-point lead.
60s dudes.
Who knows? Maybe that'll be the final decision.
Still in there.
Nice.
And do we have someone else joining? Oh, okay. Number 16, or question 6 from this round. Who directed the 2020 Tom Hardy film Capone?
Hey, I'm back.
Oh, hey! Just so you know, we're on question 6.
Yeah, can you give me a score update?
Right.
Can you give me a score?
Currently, Joe is ahead by 1.
4-3.
Really should have kept track. I think it is 4-3. Yeah.
4-3. Okay. Yeah, my internet crapped out. But I'm glad I sent you those questions before it did that because it would have been
really useful. Otherwise, it would have just been 5 minutes of me making Star Wars jokes. And Lord knows we don't need any more of that. So I'm gonna say that was the 5 count. You guys can start revealing your answers. Oh shit! Who did I say was going next? Joe. Joe flips his. I think this time.
Shot in the dark, Peter Berg.
Peter Berg and Antonio. What do you got?
Nothing. I knew it was somebody like around Peter Berg's level.
I don't know if he was on Peter Berg's level, but the answer was Josh Trank.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, I take that back. All right, I take that
Director
back.
of whatever that movie was that came out a couple of years ago.
That was Trank's comeback movie, Capone. You know, that was the one that was like, hey, remember all the bad stuff I did?
I'm surprised Hardy let him direct them.
Yeah.
For real.
Basically.
I'll go ahead and I'll take back over.
I was going to say, yeah, you go for it, man.
Okay. Well, hopefully, you seem to be doing pretty well. But if that happens again, just pick up where I left off.
You had the best frozen pose, man. It was the best.
What did it look like? I'm just curious.
It looked like you got betrayed by someone.
You were pondering the workings of the universe.
Right, that too.
You know what's funny? When that happens, you just see everybody's screen start swirling, and I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, oh, that's probably me. Either way, we'll go into question 7. This is going to be in the category of what year did the following films get released? Solaris, The Time Machine, and Eight-Legged Freaks.
What a slur against spiders. Eight-Legged Freaks.
A number of other, by the way, Scarlett Johansson movie, interestingly enough.
Jesus, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it too obvious with all the other great movies that came out this year.
So you picked the 3 shittiest movies from that year.
I will tell you, I tried to watch Solaris like 6 times, and I fell asleep every time.
That's more times than I gave it.
Yeah, I tried really hard. Either way, my sleeping habits during movies aside, go into our count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ends down. Since we started with Joe, we left off. Antonio.
2002.
And Joe.
2002.
Is in fact 2002.
Okay.
Good job,
you guys are really bringing it this round. I love it.
No sandwiching on this one. So with that, this will take us into our 8th question, which is going to be in the category of Hugh Jackman movies. What is the name of the robot that Hugh Jackman shadow boxes against in the finale of Real Steel?
What a concept for a movie.
I mean, Rock'em Sock'em robots come to life. What's not to love?
Yeah, it was great. And then all of a sudden there's this one rascally robot that just happens to work on mimicry instead of actual video game controls.
You know, I always thought his name was Adam with a D and not Atom with a T. And
I love it. It really changes the feeling of the character, doesn't it?
It does. It bumps it from like here to like here. Did you see how imperceptible that movement was?
It's such a power move right there.
Absolutely. So with that, we get into the boxing style countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Joe.
Then I've had this question before. I can't remember, so I guess Destructor.
And Antonio.
I actually like this movie, Zeus.
And he ties it up.
Tying up the game here as we get into the last two questions. And by the way, just in case if I do happen to get ousted because the internet doesn't like me,
it would be nice to know what happened.
We basically just go into sudden death if we're tied, and we'll just keep asking questions.
Makes sense. I probably should have thought of that.
It'll be a Star Wars question.
Yeah, no Star Wars questions, I promise. With that, we'll go into our penultimate question for this round, which is going to be in the category of, we'll say, psychological thrillers. What song is Alex DeLarge singing when he and his droogs break into and assault a writer and his wife in A Clockwork Orange?
Going back to the previous answer real quick, I think that was one of the few movies that a character named Zeus did not have sex with everybody and screw up their entire world.
Well, to be fair, we only saw him in the ring.
That's true. We don't know what he was doing outside of the ring.
Yeah.
He could have been like Mike Tyson in the 80s outside of the ring.
That crew seemed to be rolling real deep, you know?
Yeah, there was probably a couple illegitimate robot children running around.
Absolutely. I agree. Not that has anything to do with The Clockwork Orange, but you could see maybe a crossover with the
I'd love it.
Sexual depravity, perhaps.
Alex DeLarge against one of Zeus's children.
I would take DeLarge, by the way. 5,
It's close.
4, 3, 2, 1. Where are we? To Antonio, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. And I always wanted to see this movie. I'd never seen it. It's a crime. So I just guess Space Oddity.
Not a bad guess at all. Joe.
I can't remember when London Bridge is falling down.
Both very good guesses, gentlemen, but the one we're looking for is da 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 da, Singing in the Rain.
Oh, okay.
Really puts a haunting turn on that song when you.
An American song.
Oh my God, that was the first time I ever watched that movie like a month ago, and it kind of ruined that song for me, honestly. And I mean,
Kelly has never loved.
So I should watch Singing in the Rain first before watching the movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would recommend that.
It's a through line for sure. So with that, gentlemen, we're tied as we get into the last question here of this round. So we might have our first.
So excited.
This last question is in the category of 80s films. What is Daniel's costume at the Halloween dance in the Karate Kid?
You know, I still have to watch the Cobra Kai show, and I haven't started because I still haven't seen the original Karate Kid. So I just have a lot of watching to do.
I will tell you, Madi, we started, my wife and I started her out watching Cobra Kai, and then we went back, actually.
Does it make a difference?
Not really. I mean, I had to explain some things like why it's cool, but you can watch it without any knowledge of what the Karate Kid universe is, really.
I'm pretty sure he's a kid who gets bullied. Mr. Miyagi coaches him up, and then he whoops ass at the end with an illegal move. That's all I know.
That's absolutely a good 10-second summary of the
Perfect. Love it. Haven't seen any of the franchise.
Daniel LaRusso is going to fight. Daniel LaRusso is going to coach. But with that, connections aside between shows and movies, count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And Joe, we'll start with you for this final question.
It's a rough estimate of Psycho Shower.
Joe, you're killing me with these answers, man. I gotta tell you, Antonio.
Damn, I was rewatching Cobra Kai too. I said a shower.
Yeah, it was a shower.
He dresses as a shower.
I think I have to give it to Joe because he had shower in it. He was kind of weird.
I know. I'm not gonna argue Psycho, but whatever, fine. Yeah.
No,
That just means that we're tied up and we got more questions to go, gentlemen.
Yep, that means we are tied after this round of the free-for-all, so that means we go into sudden death. And basically what that means is I'm going to keep asking you gentlemen questions until one of you misses and the other one gets it, and we have another lead, essentially. So with that, as the tension mounts and is extremely palpable, just like some people like their orange juice, we're going to get into our next question, which is in the category of animated films. Which board game does Andy receive as a gift at his birthday party in Toy Story? Oh, just recently binged all these 4 movies, and boy, what a delight! Back to back to back to back.
They're so great, and I love the fact that Keanu Reeves is in the last one. He's just
himself. Like
he's just himself, and it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean. The only movie he's more of himself in is like that SpongeBob movie where he's Tumbleweed.
where he's just a tumbleweed. Yeah, it's
Yeah, he's just Keanu Reeves as a tumbleweed. What's better than that? Whoa. Indeed. All right. So that's going to take us into our 5 count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And Antonio, we're going to go ahead and start with you first.
I'm just gonna buy. I know it's wrong. Risk.
And Joe.
Battleships.
Battleship is the correct answer. So with that, Joe goes ahead and he moves forward in the free-for-all. Antonio, it was a pleasure to have you. What a great round that you had. Just got tripped up on that one question, but man, you really brought it, brother, as you usually do.
Damn.
Thank you for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and get a chance have you removed as we get into our next round, hopefully. As we're sort of waiting for things to even themselves out. Madi, what did you think of that second round? Quite a round there, I would say.
That was definitely one hell of a round. I mean, it was going shot for shot basically the entire way. Joe took a quick 1-point lead and then lost it, and now just really on the sudden death questions, just Battleship and Risk. That one's going to be
fandom category.
It's a fandom category, exactly. And I mean, we all know what Joe can do in this league, and Antonio really fucking brought it. I apologize if I'm not supposed to swear. I wasn't given any rules, and so I'm just gonna say things, and I'm hoping that's okay. But Antonio, way to fucking bring it, man! Just really great job in this round.
Hey Joe, just a question because it's kind of being brought up in the background. In England, does it have a plural on it? Is it called battleships?
We've got two different. I've played Battleship and I've played Battleships. That's the thing. I've seen board games with battleships on it, but
it's the same game.
Okay.
It's not like it changes much, but
was thinking about it, and I just assumed that was a cultural thing, so I let it go because
you can see on my board there's origins of a T from Twister that I started writing, and then it's battleships.
So it looks like what's going to happen here is our next competitor is having a little bit of Wi-Fi issue. So actually, we're getting down to the end here of the free-for-all. It's supposed to be a bit longer of a free-for-all, but as it turns out, we're getting here close to the end. And the final competitor who's going to be available here this evening to face Joe, as Joe.
So I get MVP, right? So that's decided.
I mean, yes, you are the MVP as it stands, for sure.
As of right now.
So with that, we have our final competitor, perhaps, depending on how internets go, coming in. Someone who we were not expecting to have this evening. He is making his triumphant return of sorts to Titan Trivia. We have, as he likes to say, your 37th favorite father in the fan leagues. We have Jacob Papa West.
All the girls and the boys and people making noise, just let me hear you shout. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. So above your fist, if it twist like this, till the lights go out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the girls and the boys and people making noise, just let me hear you shout. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
And again, I don't want to give anybody special preference over anybody else. So Jake gets a chance to come in. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and we'll just keep speaking. There he is, Papa West. How are you doing this evening, sir? And you are muted, just so you know.
Thank you. The joys of putting kids to bed. They yell and scream, and I would have hated to be thrown on screen in the middle of that. But Madi, I just realized your 51 cents. I forgot to actually Cash App it to you, but it's right here. I will send it to you after this.
I mean, come on, man. I've been waiting on this bidding war, and you're just failing me again and again.
Well, hopefully the Canadian post office is better than the U.S. post office, so you'll get it sometime this year. It's not a high standard,
but we are slightly better.
Well, as you know, physically he showed it to you, so that's almost as good as you having it in your pocket, because at least we know he has it.
Well, that's better than most of my previous deals have gone, so.
So, gentlemen, much quicker than we expected. There's supposed to be a few more competitors. Unfortunately, things get in the way. Sometimes it's internet issues, like it happened to me. Sometimes it's just life, you know. But we happen to be here at the end of the free-for-all. Should have made the rounds longer, as it turns out. But either way, we're here. Joe, congratulations on making it this far. Papa West, it is your goal here to try to block him from getting to the finale against Chris Diaz. But that being said, no biases. We're going to go into our first question of this final round of the free-for-all for tonight. This first question is going to be in the category of classics again. What kind of performer does Jimmy Stewart play in the 1952 classic, The Greatest Show on Earth? Never seen this movie. Heard good things.
I've heard okay things. I wouldn't necessarily call it a classic based on the reviews I've seen, but
it did win Best Picture.
Yeah, but it was also 1952 when there was like 7 movies that came out.
I know, but Casablanca won in 1942, and that was pretty good.
I still haven't seen that either. Can I just shout out Little Sean on the back of Papa West's?
Oh my gosh!
So you might have noticed that I got really heartbroken for a little bit of a second. My kids drew on Little Sean.
Oh my gosh, that's vandalism.
How could I do that? You deserve it so much. You deserve so much worse, actually.
Your kids just need to be put up for adoption after that kind of hate crime. I don't know what you're doing with them.
Absolutely. Well, as we get past thinking about how it is that Jacob's kids should be confined so they can't write on stuff, we'll go into our countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe, we will start back with you.
Magician.
And Papa West.
Circus performer.
I would say give it to him.
Well, Jacob, you're not incorrect. The answer we were technically looking for is a clown.
I would personally give it to him, but I feel like that could be up in the air depending on who else heard it.
Circus performer can be any type of person in a circus, like a trapeze artist or a lion tamer or the like.
The whole thing's in a circus. That's the issue.
Yeah. So we were looking for clowns.
Where do you see clowns at a circus?
Or in the sewers.
You can also see them at birthday parties too, technically. But
not my birthday parties.
Okay.
No.
So,
he could have been a lion tamer. He could have been a knife thrower.
I was actually going for a Greatest Showman, like the head of the circus. So I totally understand not giving it to me.
Yeah, he was Buttons the clown. He was a guy as a surgeon, as a doctor who was, I think he murdered someone and went on the run as a clown.
Sounds like a normal clown. Yeah.
Him, Ronald, Pennywise, all of them just murdering people when they don't know it.
It's kind of like it's kind of like that American Horror Story freak show season. They were all murderers, basically. But with that being said, no points awarded. So we're going to go ahead into the next question, which is in the category of the View universe, actually.
Snoochie boochies.
What does Dante use to write the sign that the quick stop is open even though the doors are jammed with chewing gum in Clerks? Been a while since I've watched this particular one. I end up watching all the other ones because they're on TV more, I guess.
I think. Hasn't there been an actual movies that have opened up in like America somewhere? I feel like that's a thing.
I'm not sure.
Movies has actually opened up, so now like people can actually go to movies.
Yes, that is correct. There are some theaters that are open in various places.
Not movies like the
cow
movies restaurant that they have.
Oh my gosh, no, I was unaware of that.
I follow Kevin Smith on Instagram, and I'm sure that there's like restaurants open now.
I kind of want to go. I want to get a movie mega meal or whatever. Cow tip.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
And then go on the internet terminal and rant on moviepoopshoot.com as you're one to do. But I digress. We get to our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Jacob, we'll start with you.
Ketchup.
And Joe.
Shoe polish.
Joe is correct. He writes that sign in shoe polish. So with that, Joe goes ahead and takes a 1-0 lead as we get into our third question here of the round, which is in the category of action films. What is the subtitle for the sequel to Crank?
I think Crank might have been the first movie I saw with a sex scene in it.
Really?
I think so. Like, it's the one I just for some reason have that memory of him fucking on a racetrack.
You set that bar super high. Good job, Medina.
I really did. And I've never looked back.
I honestly,
of all the movies you could have watched, that was your first.
I think mine might have been
with a sex scene.
I honestly can't remember the first one I watched with a sex scene. That's
you
good.
never forget your first. Come on, Robert.
Maybe it was American Pie, I guess, because you
guess that
might
counts.
Be American Pie. But my viewing habits as a pubescent boy aside, we'll go to our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe, we're back up to you.
High Voltage.
And Papa West.
High Voltage.
When we kiss.
Both competitors are correct. He does get electrified and fight Godzilla, I believe, is what happens in that movie.
That's what happens when you're high.
Yeah.
Electricity.
But I think Dave Chappelle did it better. But that's just my opinion.
Much better.
Either way, we will go ahead and move into our fourth question, which is in the category of Star Trek. What is the name of Tom Hardy's ship in Star Trek Nemesis?
I keep forgetting Tom Hardy was in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah, Shinzon, man.
What a character.
What a character indeed. I totally understand. He was so strange. I also like how they tried to pull it off that he was like looked like Picard, you know?
A little bit, yeah. It's just a weird movie.
Yeah, not one of my favorites.
No.
But it's okay.
That's kind of the risk with the Star Trek movies. Like same with Star Wars. Half of them are just not as watchable as the others.
Unfortunately not. Just go by the evens, even though I think this would be
I'll say the poorer Star Wars are still more watchable than the poorer Star Treks. I would watch Phantom Menace over Final Frontier any day.
I would rather shoot myself in both eyes.
But seriously, what does God need with the spaceship? I need to know this answer.
It was never answered.
It was never answered.
It was never.
I do a good impression of God from that movie. Oh!
Joe's coming in with all the gems tonight. Count 5, 4, 3.
You haven't seen this answer yet, Robert.
1. Pens down. Papa West, we'll start with you.
It would be the USS, not the Enterprise, but like very similar to the Enterprise.
Very true.
He's technically
Joe,
right, but also incorrect.
Scimitar.
Yeah, Scimitar is what we were looking for, which is
that's Darth Maul's ship.
Yeah.
They can't steal names.
Evidently,
Come on,
they
Star
can.
Trek.
They didn't care enough for them to actually do anything about it.
Apparently they can.
Oh my gosh. What a shit show.
With that, Joe goes ahead and takes a 3-1 lead as we go into our next question, which is in 2010 films. Who starred as Hank Williams in the 2015 biopic I Saw the Light? Read about this movie. Always wanted to see it. Never got a chance.
I'm not a huge country fan, so I could just never sit down and want to watch it.
Hank Williams led a very interesting existence, we'll say.
Favorite song is Roly Poly.
Is that an actual song?
Roly Poly, Daddy's Little Fatty.
Nope. Daddy's Little Fatty is another nerd for never mind. I'm not going to go that far.
I know you'll be a man someday. I kicked my table.
I kind of just want Papa West to keep singing Hank Williams songs, but I guess
That's the only part that I know, and that's like the only Hank Williams song that I know.
Well, with that, unfortunately, we'll have to cut you off here and get to the count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Papa West, we're going to start back with you.
This is hard to do with one hand. I put Michael Fassbender.
And Joe.
I said Matthew McConaughey.
Unfortunately, both incorrect. I would say Papa West, you're a little bit closer, but the answer we're looking for is Loki himself, Tom Hiddleston. And his wife was Scarlet Witch. Isn't that weird? Either way, keeps our count here for this final round at 3-1 as we go into our. This would be our sixth question, which is in the category of westerns, sci-fi westerns, if you will. Name 2 of the 3
Cowboys and Aliens
themed worlds in 1973's Westworld.
Not the Westworld that we're seeing on HBO, but
No.
1973's Westworld.
No, this is what the property, well, sort of was based off. It was really based
Kind
on
of.
Michael Crichton book.
A little bit, yeah.
But either way,
Was it 2 of the 3?
2 of the 3, yeah.
No bonus points for getting the third one.
If you guess the third one and it is incorrect, the whole answer is correct. I will just say that because I'm a stickler like that.
However, if you only get 1 right, that's just 1 right out of the 2, so you don't get any points.
We'll go ahead and do our count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. I believe we're back to Joe.
No, ocean and desert.
And Papa West.
The 3 are North World, South World, and East World. And why there's not a West World in the movie called Westworld, I do not know.
Very weird, right? Actually, one of the answers is pretty straightforward. One of them is Western World, but the other 2 are Medieval World and Roman World.
Okay. I only got that.
But either way, score doesn't change. We're still at 3-1 as we go into our 7th question, I believe, which is in the category of movie quotes. From which 2004 film would you hear the following line? You gonna eat your tots?
This movie had probably one of the more intense elections of 2004, other than the U.S. presidency one.
Well, don't give too much away.
This was more intense than 4 years ago election,
Yeah, it's very true.
which was even more intense than this election.
I kind of wish.
This
Well,
election, I'm not even American, and this election gave me heart palpitations.
I'll say more when we get to the answer, but I'll say what I wish that I wanted that incorporates this movie into our past 2 elections. But either way, we'll go into our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Going back to Papa West.
Napoleon, give me some of the tots. Napoleon Dynamite.
And Joe.
Wrong high school movie. Migos.
Yes, we are looking for Napoleon Dynamite. What I was going to say is I really wish that in real elections they both had to perform a skit or maybe a dancing portion, you know. Try to incorporate it more into like.
I would have paid not to see that, but I also get the idea of wanting to see that.
Well, our ousted
I
president
always
only has
start
one
that
dance
dance off.
Both of those electees were probably not going to do well in a dance. Wouldn't have helped their numbers, but I get it.
That's fair. Either way, Jacob ends up gaining a point. We're only 1 point behind as we get into our 8th question here, which is in the category of indie darlings. Who wrote and directed the indie film Tangerine?
Surprisingly, this movie has nothing to do with the fruit.
Yes. It could be in sort of a what's metaphorical way, I guess.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Not to give too much away if you haven't seen this film, which I haven't, but We like to care about the indie darlings. The Schmodown does. We like to do here too at Titan Trivia. So either way, we will go ahead into our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Back to the top with Joe.
Yeah, shot in the dark. I'll know it when I hear it. Patty Jenkins.
And Papa West.
My favorite indie darling, Marion Ravenwood in Indiana Jones 1 and 4.
Very close, both gentlemen. The answer we're looking for is the guy who did the Florida project, Sean Baker.
I don't remember there being an Indiana Jones 4. I think you might be a little bit mistaken there.
Very small movie. Not a lot of people watched it. I don't really recommend it either.
It got put into a bunker. It's being reviewed by top men. Nobody wanted to say who, so I could say top men. All right, the joke is done. We're over.
I was drinking water.
That's fair. I did catch you at a bad time, Joe. Either way, this is going to take us into our 9th question. This is still a 1-point game. This is in the category of sports films. In what year's Olympics are Harold Abrams and Eric Liddell competing as the climax to the film Chariots of Fire?
Dun, 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 dun.
And yeah, exactly, one of the best scores you'll ever hear. And just really for clarification, gentlemen, you can give the location or the year, and I'll accept it.
So strange to think that all the way back then, athletes were refusing to compete because of the day of the week.
I know. Well, they had a lot more integrity back then than athletes now.
You mean to say O.J. Simpson is not an integral person as an athlete? Integrous?
I mean, when he was an athlete.
What about that Seahawks player from 2 days ago? What's his name? Who cares?
Exactly.
He's an offensive tackle. Who cares what his name is?
Oh, that guy. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but I know what you're referring to. Either way, we'll go ahead into our count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And Papa West, we're back to you.
I didn't want to get the year wrong, so isn't it the Berlin Olympics?
And Joe.
Yes, at 48. 36.
Both good guesses, gentlemen. It's actually the 1924 Paris Olympics.
Almost 100 years ago. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh, yes.
If that didn't make you feel old, I don't know what will.
All right, guys. So this is a very pivotal question. This is our 10th and final question here of the round. Joe has a 1-point lead over Papa West. If Jake can get this point and Joe cannot, then we will go into sudden death, which will be the end.
Twice in one free-for-all?
Twice back-to-back, even.
Oh, my gosh.
But we'll go ahead and digress into this final question, which is in the category.
Geek category.
What?
Geek category. Come on.
Nope. It's in the category of Kubrick.
Oh, God.
What is Lolita's real name in Lolita?
Are you needing first and last, or just first? Or...
First. Just first name.
Just first name.
Yeah. I don't expect anybody to remember that family's last name.
I can't remember my own last name half the time.
Absolutely.
As you can see, I didn't even write it on my name on this call.
I did another match once where it was basically just everybody had to list things in a category, and if you missed a few times, then you were out. So you tried to be like the last one standing, and we did Kubrick films, and I totally forgot. No, wait, I did say this one, but I couldn't remember ones like Spartacus or Dr.
Did you say the moon landing?
No, I forgot about that one too.
See?
It might not be canon. It might not have had a wide release. I don't remember. Either way, our final count, perhaps, of the evening. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, everybody. And I think we're back to Joe.
Lauren?
And Jacob for the tie.
Pauline.
And your winner starting from the bottom or the top, if you will, and coming down here to the end, Joe, Hot Fuzz Fairley, the answer we were looking for, Dolores. Dolores was Lolita's name. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some interviews here with who we have. If Chris Day wants to add anybody else back in who is still here, that'd be great. But we will start with our winner of the free-for-all here today, Joe Hot Fuzz Fairley. Joe, I know it is very late where you are. You were not expecting to start off this free-for-all because we had more people in mind, but you ended up being the first one in, and you ended up going through everybody, even a tough overtime with Antonio, and you got here to the end. How are you feeling about how your performance went today and your upcoming title shot at Titan Mania?
You always got to feel good about a win. Definitely, the quality seemed to dip off a little bit in that final round, just from me personally. But sometimes you got to make do with it. You got to do what you got to do to get through, even if it's not the result not the score you exactly wanted to pick up. But yeah, it's good. And regards to the title shot, Chris, I just went through 3 people. You think I can't go through 1?
Well,
I kid. Chris is a great player, and obviously never had the opportunity to face him one-on-one in Geek. But we'll see what happens in singles. As I've always said, Geek's my wheelhouse. Singles is where I come just to play for fun, and I've ended up with a title shot. It's not the first time it's happened in the singles division. So, but hopefully this one can go a little bit better than the last one did.
Is there anything here that you experienced through the questions that you think might be a point of tweaking coming up as Titan Mania approaches in March?
I think it's a little bit difficult to say with singles because you never really know where the questions are going to come from. You could say Kubrick. I've seen a lot of Kubrick, but it could be one of the Kubricks I haven't seen, like Lolita, which I'll probably watch before the match now. But then again, it could be something View Askew could come up, which, as I'm sure Jacob knew when it came up, I put that as a strength on a wheel very recently, so that was never going to be a problem for me. Like with Geek, you know every movie that's going to get asked about or that can get asked about. You know that in singles, but there's too many for you to predict what's going to get asked about. So it's more luck sometimes with the questions. But if you've seen enough, you should be able to pick it up. And like I said, some of the guesses, if they come through, you might have seen a poster. You might know who directed it, and therefore, this director always works with this composer, so it might be this composer, and you can get it right that way.
Well, Joe, Herculean effort that you put forth here today. Really, really impressed with what it is you were able to pick up here. I think everybody should be, as you mentioned, this isn't even your strength per se, and yet you're able to come through and answer all these questions, playing very well from start to finish. Everybody should be afraid of what it is that you could potentially do. But what?
I just said thank you.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for joining us here tonight. We're going to go ahead and talk to the person who you faced last. I don't think anybody else is available here. Chris Day, we'll put them in if they are, but either way. Papa West, thank you for joining us here for this free-for-all match. You got to wait to the end, be the last one in. Usually that gives you somewhat of an advantage. How are you feeling? How did you think your performance went here today?
I did a lot better than I was expecting to, because Joe put it exactly right. With singles, it's almost any movie that's ever come out. You can have a match where you go perfect. You can have a match where you get nothing. And so it's always, hey, that just so happens to be a movie that I've seen or have heard a lot about. So I never go into a singles match or a general movie trivia match expecting anything. But I had a lot of fun. I always love writing fun joke answers. So Joe gave me a bar to get past.
He did.
Anything you perhaps regret about either joining the free-for-all or coming back to Titan Trivia or anything in your first?
Probably just not paying me the 51 cents sooner. Who knows? Could have made the difference.
That's up there. I was hoping that having the visual, so it wasn't like, hey, haha, I'm kidding. I'm not actually going to give you 51 cents. I was hoping having that visual would let you know, oh, hey, he's real. But no, I get to keep my 51 cents now. So that's great because that's all the money I have to my name right now.
I
Just
recommend
kidding.
investing in GameStop. I
Yeah.
hear that's a good one.
Dogcoin or
Dogcoin.
Dogecoin,
Dogecoin.
whatever it's pronounced, because you can buy their stocks for like 48 cents. So I can actually buy a stock right now. It's great.
Yes,
That's
you can.
pretty
Well,
intense.
investing advice aside, investing opportunities aside, Jacob, thank you for joining us here for this evening. Anybody else who got a chance to play or didn't get a chance to play, we really appreciate signing up, joining us. If you couldn't, hopefully we'll get a chance to get you into Titan Trivia soon. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up as per the suggestion by the producers here. So coming up at Titan Mania, we have a singles title match between Joe Hot Fuzz Fairley and the current champion, Chris Diaz. And spoiler warning or announcement, this person didn't have a chance to play here tonight, but there will also be an additional match at Titan Mania between one comic book lad, Grant Gregory, and this guy. Someone who never got a chance to play him. The recently vacated champion, the person who got ousted by one Chris Diaz, we're going to get a chance to play at Titan Mania 2, so I wanted to go ahead and let everybody know that. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Everybody just quickly wants to go around the horn and let know where people can find you, and then we'll go ahead and we'll sign off. So to my co-host, Madi, where can people find you?
Usually on Pornhub these days because my girlfriend just, whatever. But on other social media platforms at Madeehr, Madeehr. So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. I still use that some reason. I don't know why, but it's there. And also on Facebook if you want to find me and add me. We can have some fun conversations there.
Before we get into the rest of the outros, as it turns out, we have a special guest here who wanted to go ahead and talk a bit before we wrap up. One current singles champion of Titan Trivia, Mr. Chris Diaz. So we're going to go ahead and let Chris come in and give his spiel before we go ahead and we wrap up.
Hello. Congratulations.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Jacob.
Chris, how are you feeling about your upcoming opponent at Titan Mania?
I feel good. Joe has been someone I've been wanting to face in a long while, actually. Been a huge fan of his. So, I love Jacob, and I do. Joe is an opponent I've been wanting to face more.
Are you a little bit disappointed, because Joe mentioned this as well, that it's in singles trivia and not in geek trivia, where I know you both really shine?
No, as I say, I think single would be more interesting to see who's better at single, because both me and Joe have good strength weakness when it comes to single around geek. But I'm looking forward to it. Joe's been a phenomenal player, and I can't wait to watch the whole match later. But I was so happy Joe won when I got home from work.
Mr.
Joe,
Champion,
anything you want to say to each other before the match happens? A little bit of trash talk.
I definitely think Chris is making the right choice by by having the opportunity to play me in singles and not geek. But look, I've seen Chris play singles, and he is a phenomenal player. There's a reason he has that belt. So I'm just going to come in. I'm going to do what I can. We'll see what happens. But I've been in a single title match before. I held my own against phenomenal players before. I can do it again here. We just have to see how the questions roll.
And Mr. Champion, anything else you want to end here with before we go ahead and we wrap up the stream?
Well, I just think may the best person win. Joe is a great player. I'm happy to be facing him. And may the best person win. And at the end of the day, it's the fun that counts, not who the better player.
Absolutely. So while we have you here, Mr. Diaz, anything you want to promote and plug before we wrap up?
No, nothing. In 2 weeks, you guys can find me on Full Metal Trivia. I'd be doing a Disney random match. And if I win, I might be facing the winner of the previous thing, but wish me luck.
All right. Papa West, anything that you want to promote?
You can find me all over the place, but specifically at both TMG Entertainment and TMG Trivia. It's both trivia and debate leagues. I help run a lot of that, including TMG Teams and TMG Sports. which be on the lookout because since this is live, not tomorrow, jeez, Sunday at some random time, I'm going to be posting a video, a live video, just talking about the future of TMG teams and doing an AMA or an Ask Me Anything because I have never done an Ask Me Anything and I want to do an Ask Me Anything.
I'm looking forward to that. A big proponent of the TMG Trivia League. So, Jacob, thanks for letting everybody out there know about that. Mr. Number One Contender, Joe Farrelly. Where can the good people find you?
Find me on Twitter at Joe Ed Farrelly, on Letterboxd, Joe Farrelly. You can also find me at pretty much wherever the fan leagues are playing. Jack of all trivia, you can find me multiplex, opening night trivia league, feature presentation, and full metal soon, hopefully. Speaking of TMG teams, I'm now seeking a new teammate. So congratulations to Robert, Amaru Moses.
Mazel tov, Amaru.
Congratulations,
And congratulations to the other three as well, so Jacoby, Peggy, and Christina, because they all deserved it. And
Amen.
I have been saying it for weeks, draft the 4. But I will say this, TMG, that's what you want to watch. I believe there's a geek tournament where some matches are still waiting to drop. So I think definitely check those out. They're definitely worth watching because you might even see the future Schmodown star, Amaru Moses, featuring in some of those matches. But yeah, that's it from me.
And Mr. Producer, Christopher Day, anything else you want to add beyond what I've mentioned for Titan Mania? Or anything else coming up?
Well, first off, technology can kiss my ass today.
Yep.
Technology can kiss my ass because it's been hard getting everybody in, but I've been working my ass off. Congratulations, Joe. Cannot wait for this match. Mr. West, I had kind of an idea about a possible Titan Mania match with the heel of the year over here. And you and I have gone back a long way. I just kind of feel like it's kind of the right time. And the fact that technology clearly didn't want me to win the free-for-all today. So, kind of just putting out the challenge now. So, it's all up to you, my friend. But it's good to have you back, by the way.
Well, Christopher Day never one to shy away from a challenge for sure.
Did y'all hear that just annoying bickering that was going on? Or is that just on my end?
Got a faint buzz of it ringing in my ear too, Papa.
Okay. Robert, I hate to take over your stream, but I have to say something. I can't let that just go unsaid. But fun fact, Chris, but before Titan Mania, the first one happened, I'm just sitting on my bed watching WrestleMania, chilling out, not a care to my name, and I start hearing this. Jacob got called out. Jacob called out by RJ. I'm like, I don't even know who RJ is, but okay. And you know what I did? I TKO'd him. The first TKO in Titan Trivia. So again, I'm sitting here writing the first one. I didn't say the only one. The first one. I'm sitting here writing funny things on my whiteboard, looking at little Sean, listening to him make fun of me, not a care to my name, and I get called out again. So Chris, I'm not saying I'm going to TKO you, but I will take you down.
Oh, hell no. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Jacob's crazy. He's got cats just coming out of his shoulders and stuff.
One second. I've been here for about 51 matches in the entire leagues. Won belts. I don't give a fuck about them. I've clearly had shit happen to me. Derek Parker, where the fuck you at? But here's the one thing that's funny to me. I was 1 point away from taking that belt away from Robert a while ago. I've had the best season I probably have ever had, honestly. And here's the thing. I like being the bad guy right now, so I'm going to say this nicely. I'm going to end the Pop West, and I'm going to destroy, as they say, because I'm not the guy I used to be. I'm the destroyer. And, so on the note, congratulations, Joe. But, yeah, Papa West, let's do it, buddy. Because Grant Gregory might have his match with Rob, but now you're facing one of the big boys. So, saying the fact that I'm 6'8", but you're facing one of the big boys, so I'm ready. Let's do it.
Well, ring a ding ding. Guess we got another challenge coming up here at Titan.
One more thing, Robert. I hate
Oh,
to do this.
all
I'm
right.
sorry, but I have to do this. Chris, do you enjoy jazz music? I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nope.
he's gone.
Special song for you, Chris. Special
Yep.
song for you.
Look
Yep.
at these two.
So I know Joe's got to go. Joe, thank you for joining us. Good job. Everybody there, just to wrap up on me, I am Robert Kaplan. You can find me as the Geek Commissioner here at Titan Trivia, as a competitor here and all over the place. Just started with a new faction. Some of my faction mates happen to have gotten drafted here tonight. So congratulations to the listing of Amara Moses, Peggy Govins, Christina Vassallo, and Jacoby Bancroft, amongst others. Congrats
Congratulations
to them
to all of them.
for getting to the big leagues. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. It's a great free-for-all. Unfortunately, everybody couldn't join. For those who could, thank you for making it a special evening. We're going to go ahead and sign off here this evening for Christopher Day, for Medee, for Papa West, for the champion Chris Diaz, for the #1 contender now, for Titan Maniac, Yo Hot Fuzz Fairley, the free-for-all winner. I am Robert, free-for-all in tonight, Kastner. Don't forget to take your virtual waitlist. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And you have to throw that plug in there. Good job, Chris.